See saying Jumedi no asuguswa utieno. Yada munyana ase sign ma munyana kwa baby omidio say bonsu. Make us say 22 minutes after 5. The Honorable Kyremateng Agyarko abekanye ho. And the Boakye na shase on Boakye Kyremateng Agyarko. Oh, beme bia Kyremateng. Oh,
me papa manu beme bia Kyremateng.
Oh, okay.
Ne papa. Ye nanano. No ye kweku abebrese Kyremateng.
Okay.
But said the beya edini nyirano. Ni babe me bia or the no two Kyremateng.
Yeah.
Nti me ye Kyremateng, my brother we free me ye Kyremateng, Owusu ye Kyremateng, Kwabrampuku ye Kyremateng.
Okay.
Yaw ye Kyremateng.
Ekosi saying on Asempa FM.
What the other Kyremateng and ye Kyremateng.
Debi. E dey be any way friend Kyremateng. Eye Kyremateng.
Na. Oh.
Okay. Bruni katremo butu yenti na
endi. Kyremateng.
Kyremateng. Okay. The only difference is baby oha G ka ho. Ebi oha G ka ho.
Okay. Wow. When you mo akwa ba me did say bibia nso ye boko.
Oh, nyame adaroma.
Great.
Nyame adaroma.
Great.
Or the ache.
Yeah. Ene ye yawada. Ochina ye fiada meme da kwesi ada juada na ye kwa akoto aba.
Sir.
Meaning say you are in high spirit. What expectations say was so as far as this election is concerned, meboa.
Sanity.
And why is that? Adentia.
Yo, the decline say mechia wetifo. Obi biara ware na so etie station mechia mi wogidie mapase entiti a wode ma amanfo ni nchirichiri mu a wode ma no ebie yani ebie yaso bie yakoma
ekosi say on Asempa FM
mesre nyame se ye kasa anye bro na nedua yi so nimdia ye benya ne yemfa bi nka ho obi emse abato bia no apart from say won sunsan so no ye de ni daso ene koto aba ye nya kwanya bi emrama ya kwanya bi se yankoto aba ni akandifo a ye de oman ni ye dache ni ye manda kwama ebe hye wonsa afi na ebia ebinum enya na sa omem hakura no edru baby ni enya na sa kasa preku bitu konso ono ni ope eno ye enti sese ye nya kwanya se sori anopa na wa ko kire okendinia upese odi usua ana odi wabrabo ne wodachi ne womanan manhye ne nsa e wo se ye bibia esombo manye e wo se ye bibia ye didi agro
ekosi saying on Asempa FM
adwada saa akonya naba na bisa ho se aba no edi enti na woto se ye kase koto aba enye se wo sori ya se eye exercise binti osimu na so koye bi dabi wo to aba wo yedie wo dache wo ma ene wasitinem mpanyi kan sembi se yeso ye jaminya afere yekua ene ne mentra yeso ye jaminya afere yekua ene na mentie die wo bedi wasitrem sese se na be ya enkoto asawram saa nieme ena wo hwese enti me koto ba wan ena medemi hu koja no wan ena medemi memma ekoja no wan ena medemi man ekoja no enti ya dia it's a huge question na yeka se uye die ne u future no ne adia nieme titru ben ena wo se wo twa adwene siso ebi ni adesua odi bebata efie nyansa ho 7 preduas wo fie nyansa na oni adesua modern learning ma onyema bi etoto kwachiri kakra ena wo modern learning na oni fie nyansa so a ene afanyina ebi ni wakwan ho san wo health wapomudene ebi ni said ya wote memu a ohel bi enkoto said ya wote memu a obi nkoto nhyeso your security and safety
Asempa FM.
your economic well-being mpuntuo wonkoso wonkankro ene adwuma ebebe memu ma wo ene wo ma ebenya biaye nti wo koto aba no wo expect se bibi be free mu aba we expect se bibi be free mu aba na nipa wo koto aba ma no so no e wo se o kire wo bibi se asumasi na no metuma no se ne kosiye ana na no we metuma we no se ene kosiye adihye na ekopra kunya obia
on Asempa FM.
but adihye akonya pre no ubehwe na kosiye jama fie medibie yeye adwo akwan du medibie yeye ya konhwea so medibie yeye na ubehwe no na ya konhwea efiefu obedia na ensem na ye buburu ja wo mem eja hyehye ntokwa ekom enibre enso akonya no kodi adwo akwan du fie no na di mpuntuo na eba enti wo trase bisa ho se samre ya yesi ye nko paw obi emedi mede ko ya konhwea fie ana mede ko adwo akwan du fie eno so e wo so de bo ho nkaye amamuo no enye fedi agro e wo se o kire se ye de mamia mitimi aye de onini ye oni e frɛ na aye boafo enti no panyin so ka se obomofo one de ne nam ho apaso nyania onya ya enka ne nam ho apaso ya hwiansuo ahwiansa
Ekosi say on Asempa FM.
Yehun yemudi emodro na ne papam ne de se nipa mienu a wo mode wo adesrede abaga na fo anim se ye nto abama yenim wo former President John Mahama from 2009 to 2016 ya kare no ya so no ahwe ye de na tunseniani yenim no betimi aye ni yenim ni ontimi nye President Akufo-Addo ono ne first time ni enso mfie nan ye nya chance akare no meba studio hana meni obi di nkomo no se enti Boakye yemfa ne so obi ama black and white TV washa du baby black and white tikese na meton ya na gisa odo nsa ko ba pampam ansa na eninu atimi ye clear kakra no biaba no amount flat screen color nani pa ma black and white TV na ba se there be flat screen color no en sheda nye pesa en sheda nye papasa enti fa black and red color TV no facing chain na on san fa no black and white no en san bisi wo kawa obisam se kawa ka beti ase wodi ase menye yi Ghana for ya sua sa ye hunu ne mu odu no minim se Ghana for eye clear enka hu hia kura se ka Ghana dihye enani kina ye koto abai ka fe ni ye bebu bonsam so nanso yese kwabenani onimse kwasi ade ekwa sori enso ye boss asori don e de kai no enti ebeye necessary se niama ni bi o ha ye be kai ye tiefo na ya hwe ni enti a jomama mamu no yɛde si nkyɛn ɛna ne ntia Nana Dodanko Akufo-Addo yɛma no toa so ne edi kan say Ghana for yɛnhyɛ da yɛnwere mfi adeɛ saa nyɛsɛ yɛwere ne fi na da bia yɛfisa ne to afeso a yɛsɛ papa ne yɛ bɔne nkɔ afia to yɛ nyɛsɛ yɛwere fi na yɛpɛsɛ bɔne no efiri yakwem nyɛsɛ yɛwere ne fi o ni titru pa dumso Ghana ni bia ni ho a affected Ghana ni bia ni ho a ansay ni bibi inflation niama bebre Ghana for ehwe a mo se dabi President Mahama yo nkaya jinse na wo bibi nanso baby ade adroid tranchen Remember a few statistics. Just a few. 2012 inflation. Inflation eye die disusu niema boa koso. 2012 na inflation ye 8.6%. 2013 na 11.2%. 2014 na 13.8%. 2014 na 13.8. Okay. 2015 na 18.6. 2016 na 14.6. We are NDC mreso. MPP by 2017 12.6. 2018 10.4. 2019 6.4. Electricity edi yedem ewo Ghana ha. 2010 NDC are buying to electricity 89%. 2011 omutumu 10%. 2012 ayekoto abano yantum. 2013 78%. 2014 28.3%. 2015 59.2%. 2016 ayekoto aba omontum. Enti NDC omo recording. 2017 yeye bae no foforo yantum. 2018 na me minister yet so on the average 22.08%. 2019 yet to more 11.1%. Enti se data ni de bebre na nye no na me pese me focus on. De me pese me focus on ni se e de na MPP ya ba yetumi aye ama aso ni penny. But
even before say we call hono honorable on Kanea Boa data now with the man, the NDC would argue say at the time we were confronted with Dumso, the effects no obi we don't have to belabor that point. A problem at the president then Jetron also said he would solve that problem. And the Ghanaian people had to bite the bullet. Now, Montrain, we are putting installed capacity together, building our generation capacity and all of that. In the area, then things will begin to flow. And the record shows say, Omu increasing in generation capacity. No?
You see, that is the mistake. That is the mistake. Electricity is not simply about generation capacity. Time or problem eBay. Near our excess capacity. Now your excess capacity is almost 1,500 megawatts. Capacity is what yentimi fan generate. As soon say, why you short on capacity? There is something called the generation capacity, and there is something called the spinning reserves. As soon say, a beer would demand your 2,000. What bet pin say 1,700 and 1,900 was spinning reserves about 50 megawatts. In Tiakaka Krebi now wapim say Sane Tia dia now the become na Sebi Bajumba electricity generation enye 1 year na dey add capacity. Enye 3 to 5 year cycle. So no. Yeah. And as far as 2009, nearly say problem iba. It's not about capacity. When Dumso hit, we had an excess capacity of almost 1,500 megawatts. Mashada made a friend saying, electricity supply plan. Opa major data number, major actual books number. So that is not the issue. The issue is that capacity na isihono won't mean to fuel in. So no. Obi, I had to say the over a taxi.
Yes.
Yes. Over 10 taxis. Na o ridership air building. A drew baby no. We nesika and talk enough fuel in 10 taxis no. And to reduce taxis in operation to say 7, not 3. Na o riders complaining and na ultimi me fire no me ade. The solution you are professing na say any metal taxes ni bia kan. Nya say me peska ato fuel egumi ensa no a ntimi riding isi hodum. But rather no o beto taxes ni bia kan. Jomama nsem ni bi o ho a o kana wo ti ase a just asem no wa nwunu hu ye. That was not the issue. That was not the issue at all. Me de ma share that the data be about Dumso. So no. NDC person mo claim say, oh, na the capacity ba enti na Dumso na munya botre. Look, the problem in the energy sector is how you manage the financial resources. So back I mean so share me vetting. One thing I kept on insisting is that it's not an engineering problem, because Ghana has some of the best engineers, power engineers. Yes. Look, just at the time I'm a minister, now me kind reports be, and our engineers were being ranked as high as Hydro-Quebec, Canada. That's how good our engineers are. But why ma akandi amudbe ye juma?
Asempa
So
FM.
why ma kadi awudbe ondebe ye juma? Ejuma no ebetosni. Na all can say excess capacity, all can say capacity not in fidie ni bi kan. Let me read for you the Electricity Management Oversight Panel, annual report.
Okay.
2019. Page 35. What the capacity na ka hono enye free o.
Yeah.
Page 35, table 6. Average monthly excess capacity cost obligations in 2019 alone. Capacity a omde kan ho a yan sheda anwene ho. Yan sheda anhihye ne yie. Because you see, Energy Commission Omoma supply demand analysis for 30 years.
Yeah.
It's called the SNEP. And way ahead of time, no, we knew how the demand situation is going to be like. Let's take this just 2019. Sika ye triaye for excess capacity. Capacity yentimi use. January, ye tria $21.25 million US. February, you try $14.71 million. March, you try $11.92 million. April, you try $13.24 million. May, $21.25 million. June, $19.414 million. July, $19.93 million. August, $32.1 million. September, $40.12 million. October, $33.31 million. November, $39.48 million. December, $38.53 million. For 1 year, excess capacity cost to this nation was $304.98 million. Sika ye tria for capacity news.
And these were paid to IPPs.
Yes, they are paid to IPPs. Also on fact capacity mra or diaba or the besi hono ojo. So and you see they signed agreements, power purchase agreements, and you sign you take or pay. Or the abesi ho so we use ye so when use ubetia.
But is that not the trend?
No. There are different PPAs. There are some called take and pay. Yen ya buy ya try see a from take or pay to take and look. Take and pay. It started with gas. Gas the who producer untimi install.
Of course.
Natural gas. A pipeline gas. 1968. And then a good PP. 1968 North Sea oil. Britain him say, hey, what's the gas a sino biadie. Said ye beya omedi omunsa beto gas no so no. They went and they take or pay with North Sea oil producers. They said the gas biya unsa beke biya fabre. Almost sign ye no. And Russia release you gas. Half the cost of North Sea oil gas. North Sea oil gas and the power electricity. Wakoto de ne boarding and a dear fo abejaso. Yenimse kwasi abejaso. So British Petroleum almost collapsed. The British government had to step in and try and nationalize some of these assets. From that time, no, take or pay started getting unpopular. And yet the ubetime negotiate take in any case. You buy same power. You from take or pay to take and pay. So what prevented us? So that is not the norm. The norm is what you negotiate for. And you negotiate based on knowledge and experience.
But time buy in the case of Send Power, for example, at the time now capacity even installed and dependable no akosro. And you negotiated from an advantageous position. In their case,
no.
You were in crisis.
No, I didn't know
on Asempa FM.
Unfortunately, my fat snap.
Okay.
Nibiama.
Okay.
It's a big volume. But unyahua Bisa Energy Commission, they can give you the snap.
Yeah.
The last snap ends in 2040, I think. So for 30 years, no, they project your capacity needs. And enisa utina ho unsa show them reform mebeto. 1993 97 a two yen. And you don't see wom. Nantiase wom say all our hopes were on hydro. But the nation fell asleep because yenimse Volta Basin system no. Every 7 to 12 years it goes through a cycle.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah.
And Tewasanki yes we are planning say at the bottom of the cycle no but demand for power was not that high. Time we see Akosombo no. The total demand was less than 100 megawatts. Yeah. And Akosombo was going to generate 1,000.
1,000.
All right. And if you are a good manager of a system, think ahead. Maybe conference school. Your motto is a dream shakai. So no.
Yeah.
Yanina and shakai. Asem what to ye. Now some two no pono. Yes, I was sorry I not left, right, and center. Yen crani moon to tun crani dear. Now so asem to a look. The energy sector is a standardized sector. Nothing is new. Oto Boase, now you're a good manager of the system. So no, yeah, can say at the time one asem to yeno. Now we had an excess capacity of more than 1,000 megawatts. No, I didn't na yajuni anko ni si ho dadanoso. Ne ko fufra ye kotoso. And Fufra, you signed over 30 power purchase agreements. 30 power purchase agreements, Okabomwa, 11,000 megawatts. When our demand was less than 3,000 megawatts.
My young data, Honorable, where the Energy Commission, energy statistics from the year 2000 to 2019, and it's also a report issued in April 2020. It is OSHA, the table 4.7, installed capacity, dependable capacity, and a peak load in megawatts. So, OSHA time na NPP1 A free power. That was in 2008. Now your installed capacity 1,981. Dependable now 1,735. And now your peak load now 1,367.
Good.
That is 2008.
Okay.
Fast forward to time a Doomsaw started. That was in 2012. And a Doomsaw started. Doomsaw started 2012. Now your installed capacity 2,280. Your dependable capacity now 2,045. And then your peak load 1,729. In the dependable capacity 2,045. Peak load 1,729. Doomsaw ahetel. What would you do?
First of all, what is your difference here? Me months didn't shed that, but let me quickly.
In the 2045 and 1,729,
so
you are looking at around 250 megawatts there.
250 megawatts. Yes. 250 megawatts. Even if you set aside, even if you set aside 50 megawatts as your spinning reserve, you are left to 200 megawatts. Peak load, no. Peak load is when normally from 6 o'clock. Yes,
of course.
Now the question is, what is your projection forward? The next 3 to 5 years, what is your projection forward? Is it signing power purchase agreements
amounting to 11,000?
Amounting to 11,000, or saying, I need to add year on year. In the 3-year cycle, I need to add 200 megawatts every cycle. That is planning. And to me stagger requirements. So okay, say you were 200 reserve. That is 2012. So for the next planning cycle, let me even double it and do 400 megawatts, which is the standard size. So let me bring in one power plant that will be operational by this time. So and now let me cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3. Look, these reports snap any energy supply plan. Maybe 2017 energy supply plan. They give you the data, what to look forward, and I'm saying snap, it gives you all the way to 2040. And to be a good manager of the system, you look at what the cycle or what the projections are and act accordingly. You don't just jump up in panic and without knowledge and commit the country to this kind of excess capacity cost. That is the point I'm making.
Which is over $300 million.
$300 million in a year.
Me patrol, say, in say, from 2012, our challenge started. By 2016, I know move free honorable. Now, installed capacity equal 3,795. That is in 2012 from 2,280 to 3,795 installed. Not dependable capacity, a movie from 2045 about 3,521. In 2016, now your peak load, echo 2,078. In 2016, Omobe argue say yes, there was a challenge. You're increasing dependable capacity. 2016, we can confidently say near end Doomsaw. If you disagree, and then I'm here to end Doomsaw.
Let me fish this data for you.
Okay.
Immediately.
Okay.
Asempa FM.
All right, let me go even to my phone.
Okay.
Electricity supply planning 2017, I think is page 25, maybe. Yes, page 24. Doom sona yedien. It is the automatic frequency load shedding.
Yeah.
How does it operate? Let's say declared generation, and at the end 24 hours ahead it was say power providers declare availability. So declared availability is say 2,000 megawatts of generation. Then your projected peak demand is 2,100. It means say you are in deficit.
Yeah. Of
the
megawatts.
AFLS will say shortfall will correct it either by additional generation coming on stream immediately or shedding loader. You will destabilize the system.
And it will go off automatically.
Yes.
Yeah.
What happens is the AFLS then decides that I need to shed 100 megawatts of generation and will automatically do that so that the system comes in balance. The let me just read 2016. The number of data me paying 2015 there were 116 load shedding operations.
Okay, that's 2016.
2016.
Okay.
2015.
Okay.
Lasting 866 hours 44 minutes. 866 hours 44 minutes. 2016, there were 24 load shedding operations lasting 320 hours, 27 minutes.
And we're at 2016.
2016.
Instances of load shedding.
Instances
and record no.
Oh yeah, it's all here.
Okay.
It's in that. It's in these.
Okay.
Now it's published by Energy Commission.
Energy Commission, of course.
So 2016, so MD load shedding. We would not have 320 hours and 27 minutes of
load shedding.
Of load shedding. 2017, we were in power. There were 42 operations.
FM.
Total number of hours 41 hours 7 minutes. So if you ended load shedding in before you left office, you would not have had 320 hours
of
hours of load shedding. Nevertheless, in 2017, there would have been zero load shedding. And the fact that you add capacity does not mean you are generating. So no. Generation means that the machines are available. The IPP has declared availability. Now, when an IPP declares availability, it means that they have fuel. Right? And it is under the EMOP law. President Akufo-Addo Adaroma. Or yes, say EMOP, Electricity Market Oversight Panel. We should put it in place. Put it in place to help cure this problem. So
that is ensuring fuel security.
Ensuring, say, anybody who is declaring availability is really available.
Okay.
And in advanced electricity markets, what do they do? The system is called Economic Merit Dispatch Order. We are available. Almost compare generation price cost. When are we cheapest? You get dispatched first. The most expensive gets dispatched last. Economic Merit Order. We don't have that. In Tinipa Netinase, Neakasa also we are available. Great co load. We so are available. Great co load. We so are available. It does not always end up in the cheapest power being deployed. So no, and nobody is really monitoring. There's no oversight panel monitoring all these systems. President Akufo-Addo, this thing has to be put in place, and we did, and that is how come EMOP is now operating and supervising. A management problem. It's not a technical problem, and I keep on insisting on this to my chagrin that the NDC must understand. Say, the problem they encountered, was one of ignoring an issue. Look, you are in power 2009. SNEP is warning you. The red lights are flashing. Say, Akosombo, Bafo. Yeah. Right? Yeah. What are you supposed to do? Oh, you're manager of the system. Yes, me to me home. Me be the minister. Every 15 minutes, I'm checking the dial, SMP. I'm checking all the substations in the country. Me was substation be a manager phone number. Engineer Boakye Kyremateng or no William Amuna. This a man who say feed the beat reading echo down. Never awful echo down. I'll call the station manager. What is happening? Who say so they were also on their toes. That is a management issue. That is a management issue.
I know I say, but the other thing is, apart from it, one man who say yes, here installed capacity.
Yes,
but a non-quan will not generate power.
No,
you need the fuel. They will tell you, say, while they were adding up to your installed capacity, they were long-term fixing fuel security. Inti, omu make sure say gas and a cheaper fuel. Then let's put in place the Atuabo gas plant. Now, MIA gas, Intimi, and deal with associated gas, it be free, Jubilee, ABBA. Yen sign Sankofa deal with ENI, and also my natural gas, it be improve in gas for the Eastern Enclave.
Sanans semi, Otwa, in Tikumapene also bonitrinko.
Adentia.
Look, what is the price of gas? ENI.
Okay.
ENI price of gas. It's about the highest in Africa. The headline price was $8.9 per MMBTU.
FM.
Headline price. All far collection, any processing, any transportation, and
other levies never count.
Enti also what the Sankofa ba. One negotiate Sankofa. Now the consequences is that you are going to have very high cost of gas. What have you achieved? Look, Jubilee Field. Jubilee Field. What were the prices? 0 and 2.1 compared to 8.9 headline. And we'll see what put it in ENI. Now it's going to cost so much. It's going to simulation for the reduce electricity prices. We came to the conclusion that for us to be able to bring cost of electricity down, we had to get the burner tip price to about $7.12 per million BTUs. Now, if that is 7.12, now our headline price for ENI is 8.9. How are you going to do that? And you see, in the hierarchy, domestic gas and a last. Imported gas, there is, so in the hierarchy, ENI gas was to be consumed first, and the cheap gas was to be consumed last. What kind of arrangement is that? When I chaired the committee of ministers for WAPCO, I met my colleagues in Lome and I said, look, we consume about 85% of this gas. I don't see how you are going to give us a postage stamp price for transportation. More so when the gas is from Yayin Fichiraha. The price was $4.35 per million BTUs. This price was fixed as the postage price. Just say baby gas in free baby no. But this was when the gas was coming from the Alps and Itoki, Nigeria. But I say no, gas no do free her. So I argued they say mentiase. Eventually we got a reduction to 1.22. So obi bisa say a day na mutimiti so these are some of the things. We reduced it from 4.35 to 1.22. The records are there. So no. Then I insisted, said there's a force majeure. Multi supply quantities, you know. So I am not going to be forced. I'm not going to be forced to take your gas. Because there's a force majeure. You had to push back. ENI for
renegotiation on the headline price and
well,
so you worked on the levies, you know, at the TV free.
No, well, the thing is that I started off by saying, say, the entire ENI agreement, as far as I was concerned, was not fair to Ghana.
Okay.
Security and liquidity arrangements. As a banker, I immediately realized that no, all right. Me friend to a meeting. In the meeting, I walked out. I told them, I will never accept this. If maybe a banker, I'm not afraid of defaults. Matna meeting when Argentina defaulted. That is when I learned for the first time the phrase. Yako Buenos Aires Committee of Bankers near Argentina government negotiating. Their defaulted bonds. Yeah, see 50 cents on the dollar. Minister he just shook his head. You know what he told us? He told us that we were certified idiots. First time I met a terminal. Over just saying 50 on the dollar. You are certified idiots. They will give us 5 cents on the dollar. Eventually, we accepted the 5 cents on the dollar. I am not afraid of defaulting. And then I make kind of publicly. I told them I will engineer a default. Because FPS only a day now bad. When we engineer a default, we pay a penalty. We will look for an investor to pay the penalty and get out. And somewhere dear chili dear buburuja. But that also quiet. As far as I'm concerned, ENI is not the best contract. And I was on a video conference call with the World Bank, and I told them, Jamasa, me a boy, I will engineer a default on this and do what you please. That has forced ENI and the World Bank into a position of saying, let us look at this contract,
again. Well, I've been looking at the data. Kasano, fuel consumed by type in the business as usual strategy. And Emma Wuhu from 2016, Sawosha fuel mix na inti na Jubilee gas ewomu kakra. Bana majority light crude oil and a heavy fuel oil.
Yes.
That's 2016.
Yes.
Over 2017, you can see light crude oil nesote. Heavy fuel oil ni peja ni mukakra na Jubilee gas and so ewo but sankofa no I think uranium kakra so is in the mix. But in 2018 light crude oil is out.
Yes.
Heavy fuel oil is out.
Yes.
You can see Sankofa gas, you can see Jubilee gas, you can see a bit of uranium and a bit of I think WAP. That's West Africa gas, yes, almost some gas, kakrebi.
Yes.
In 2019, West Africa gas is off. And you can see more of Jubilee, more of Sankofa, a bit of 10 gas, and then a bit of Jubilee gas. And that's the situation in 2019. Over 2020, there as a woman Sisiana, it is more of Sankofa, a bit of 10, and then a bit of Jubilee. Due to the 2020, there are gas in Kwan.
Yes, when we came in 2017, we made a deliberate policy choice that the fuel of choice was going to be gas. For fuel security, everybody had to have alternate gases anyway. Because look, gas can also shut down. So no, it's also a problem. So the policy, as directed by the president and approved by cabinet, was that the primary source of power generation must be gas. I will say gas. You can then have the other fuels as backups. Before then, I think VRA was bringing in 5.7 million barrels of crude for power generation.
Now, I know every year now.
Every year.
Okay.
Our idea was that if we could have
my tree and also.
Say enu afina wiye and now 2018 mpaimuno yetimi ate so fa mfasoa ebebeni. And in fact electricity so sanye nyina
a play role.
So
no gas ne bo ne wo for
yes
other fuels.
But the any moyen in a certain way. Then they say Sankofa gas no achichire yensa. So no. In fact, many Eden no
on Asempa FM.
Many omo ye nhihye bia kombetimi amaye more free gas. And so more free gas what dey kwan Sankofa na was edikan
because I know never contract name.
Because I know never contract and a hierarchy. To say the mistake time. And this all post say no.
They say our Sankofa gas
and was you so ansana na bedi echire.
Even Jubilee.
Jubilee at 10. So no. And she share what me na ema mitia ye nai. Ebi no. So no. Niema ni bi o ha. Uyo hieni said deya unton. You have no right to sell yourself. Enti ukwe hiya mini ahuchire mua. Eyanto bwase. Amamu ni yanjichire ne dakro. Ena problem biya ni wa. Ya solve no prekompe. Ebi wa how to be sa. Nenso amamu problems die. Yede ne kakra. Enti se obi kan se. NDC and a solve dum sa. It is clearly not correct. Data no obia timi kohwe electricity supply plan from 2014, 2015, 2016 na omo issue 2020. Data ni nyina wo. Intimenti ase se obi timi sinebo se
eka so no ND
se asamu enye nokre. Wo na ND ya na 2016 ya what 320 hours of doom so.
Say ye grade contributions into yes challenge na hit year 2012 by 2016 na NDC people no my new maybe and I'm take you over 2017 ebe new maybe and I doom so eventually a coy say ma creditor over 10 obema NDC say no mama
Ghana for creditor me set me so questions answer mark me ho Ghana for no mutibo no Ghana for adisia woman ne sun so no omo ne jama wom because abato okra ye kotoi when you na ka ho e se Ghana for e dey na munhunu wo MPP ho e wo samotoma wo ana e dey na munhu NDC ho a e ye mo abofuna ntia mo mpese motoma wo I will leave Majama Ghana. Oh, and the Ghana this year no munjaje.
Honorable say Sankofa
on Asempa
gas
FM.
Headline price no ewo form at least to say jubilee the na and as you see sika you betua for Canada would have been less
much less
than what we are paying
much less me dey my the argument me be the minister argument na me ye nyina ne say me sa gas price ye de ko tare Brent crude no mentiase no mre twem emre bi atwem no ba bia wutu crude bia no anye bia hunu gas until the price of gas no was tied to crude say no baby pi wo wa utu a eye gas any condensate pe iye sankofa eye largely gas the Nigeria for hu agye field is all gas enti gas so ono so on a price your friend of price index it's called the Henry Hub index enti se me okay say me go sign gas price I'll put it on Henry Hub emra na Brent yeah about $8 no na Henry Hub was 3.3 base price into what they call index Henry Hub you come out cheaper na sankofa gas no ko mutimi negotiate brand asia enkanye hawni and those to me are managerial and financial issues.
One other thing I'm going to clarify now for your other issues again back to Energy Commission report the report tells us 2016 NDC free power said the America can install near 3,795 2017 a Jampeko 4,388 2018 4,889 2019 as at end 2019 I have 5,172 meaning say under monsono ma are they up to the installed capacity we minister no did you sign any PPA
no
ain't momo the any frame
you see people you be two biswa
okay
you be two biso
okay
ne binu do commercial close ento ye hu hwe nye ne biso wo ha omo atwam bibi e friend no long stop date enti ewu me nkunyane funu bia so no but the beto so no ne ebro di hia so ana di ebehia enti hu hia so sign bibi foforo the ewo system no and wo manage it is say waba now say enkroma ya akoso mbodam akoso mbodam no wani nyi ho enti pesa wo koye bibi on oti iwo juale. It doesn't make sense. What is in the system no obeto so and now one manage etochima now den share pa atene no the eba on stream a wo kan nyina ebi ne some power some power no more you buy a credit na some power you ready
okay
but their price was high. It was $16 or $18 per kilowatt. Now I see a new on transit a casachira warm no motiso. So no. Secondly, car power ship ne a wohono ne 225 megawatts. Yanya Sasano echo 450 megawatts. Why? Because you see car power no now I see yifri tema edicot second day na esoku additional gas 90 million scarves a day no. Now person usoku a lot won't mean for 225 no not 225 no so the contract na then so we chose to up the car power ship
and extended by
car power
years.
Yes, car power has 3 fuels gas, light crude
and HFO.
Yes, okay. So it is a new versatile and we decided say those are the kinds of things you need in the system NTAE car power every tema second D. So no, by replacing it with 450, you immediately realize that you've added about 200 megawatts to install capacity. Okay. But Obi, the question is not installed capacity. The question is available
capacity. Very important.
That is more than install capacity. Sadieni siho no untimi nyuswa. Look, mine reserve. 80 megawatts.
Yeah.
Damani soy.
That was in 2000 and is it 8?
No.
And 2007.
Kufuor's first, you know, any try, and no cry juma. She said they are scrap of cry. But all the count who say 80 megawatts, what is it?
Yeah, that's true.
That is the point I'm making.
That's true. That's true. Because then they say, share data and a crowd of total installed generation capacity as at end December 2019. Mines reserve plant and
yes,
we plant.
Yeah, make it conscious decisions free
to take it out.
And T3 so free.
Yeah, in the T3 is off. Is there your Tapco?
Yes,
330. Your Tipco. You will Tico 340. You will TT1 PP.
Yes.
That's the thermal 1 power plant.
Yes.
110. You will Senate Energy 110. You will Sunon Asogli 560.
Yes.
You will TT2 PP 87. You will Pong Thermal Power Plant 220. Car Power Ship. Here it says 470. That's the installed, but the dependable here 450.
Yes.
You will Ameri 250. Dependable here 230. Trojan 44.
Trojan they get to be correct.
Yeah, 44 megawatt. Gensa 95. Amandi 203. AXA 370. And Ascend Power 360.
Yes.
These are the total thermal installed plant.
So no. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. My young maybe check power and sense seminal.
No correct.
And then until we would have to move to some other areas. And they say, all the power to China will argue passionately, say, you have dealt managerially with the issue. And I'm a Yehudi Yehuahe. Nyama Ben Bion officer MPP take it over no. Motimi Atutuni was a Ghana force so to Abama Mobile.
Health insurance. Yakwan who sign near Pomud.
Asempa FM.
One time premium. MPP NDC promise away. One time premium. Minimum Sabaka 2012.
That was in 2008. They made that promise in 2008.
Yes. Yeah. But 2012, so it was repeated. I was campaign manager. Away. Attention. Because na anu baba yekwa. Health insurance is ejina ne naiso. Uyi nutum chenya free senior high school and Crawford Jin say ya goodie aboa papa me nuanu nyina bedi adanse na me maame oye teacher ni me maame chira ade primary school 36 years out of the 36 years no emu 24 no chira class 1.
Ekusi say on Asempa FM.
Me papa, Jesus said me did 4, me call 5 years now me papa call political exile. Tell me mama na share your more frame. Mama teacher near wura anopa ahuma anopa hima no kojom okoton de. Na sister difie ni until you ede ni uniform ko school. Your boss school don't want no about besesan ho. No abechira de. Your power na ya jene niama kofi no asan kodwom. School fees dra. Your swam mamam tintima ne mpaboa ne nchense koton ansa ne yakɔ school. Cause go that 5 go no so. Miensa e mo fretro e Wesley Girls. Me confirm swim school and my late brother Kwabren Champon or call Prembe College. Kodai no so obafo ni baby a enso kakra otiti ni mo wirem pra no nyinara enye me maame nko awofo bebre sada na tie mini mate bia na me ne ombo primary school no mo abensin me kwa dai no omo abensin me bam
FM
ohwefo ne hwan ti antwaso ye wie omo wie asem middle school from 2 opasi when I did no crow from 3 opasi when I did no crow from 7 opasi when I did no crow fantini all abrabon odogin sana nkoda bebre wo ho a eni awofo bebre wo ho a sa tibiem omo wom so no na nyankopon da bia na President Akufo-Addo me ne policy advisor na nkomo ayedie so bochi yeti hey ye nim akoda nyankopon de akyede soronko bi ahye ne mu ye hunu sa akoda no wanya kwan anko school ama ya polish no nyankopon akyede no ayira ka Kofi no na nya kwa anko secondary school ka be den nya Kofi anan. So no, into his mission was say at least I could there be a chance. No co school nibi. Nyesika enesi ne kwan. So onwa ye ti bonko so na ntre nia mo no no entimi ankwa ene asam foforo. But say akoda bitimi enya chedie bi na sika nti went na no hwa akoda ya onya 8 years. Afa ne ye boje so. But there are a lot of children in the past. Yashira de. Into only the nani so ade hunu say sankoda Ghana ni akoda bia deserves a chance. Enya adea easy. And so can see so say that's a bra obama na baso. Abaso so. Is it perfect? No, but it's improving. Tech you see no. Tech you see na your school bay. MIT, almost see no almost school in slate classrooms. Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Kakra nene. Entime obia nkase Free Senior High School has attained perfection. No. But a dear boy na a dear bia abua awufo abua mofrano abua omainu ankasa. Ambulance service. Obi, ka ambulance si amba ena COVID baya ke ni be yenyan. Papa. Ke ni be yenyan. Enso eba obi a na dwunu do owo foresight ema abai. Ema sesei no. De nka ni yenyan no ankoba na sa. Ede bio planting for food and jobs. July your friend kita wonsa e di enti na friend sa sat mreno na komwa ba enfudi a udi aye no ensoe na nkampeso wacha e komnia ahokyere wo honti no wen kita wonsa obebokro no. But for the past 3 years under planting for food and jobs me hu say okombia ba in such a way say ye trade adwo me hu bi abua with eduane abua with prices abua with employment edi bio student loan scheme ayede be komra university for ni PO ha enye ni easy sao obrane niama e wo so omo bo ansa no mu nyisika ade atoaso university no ebi wo ha efere ebi wo so aniwu enso abanesa nakop 100,000 young people have found jobs. The one district one factory enra de ya yako achima Mwabieja Pasetia Okaf for factory. Come. Say omune produce a lot of the fertilizer I digu koko so. Me maji sample me ko try. Bobia di ho dance here. One district, one factory, one village, one dam. Just say niema ni bebre. When ni abanya ni nhihye ye kire say look, at the end of the day, Ghana for betuaba. Betuama ubia omwo gidie se udi January. Obetime because ye kra ni ye dachi nyina hye as osimesi binsa. Enti ye hwem Dom Mahama in the past 8 years. Ni hwe Akufo-Addo. When ye gidi se ne nhihye ya ode beto ho no. ubetimi edi so aman nanu ya po obi aba bienko through nipa dodo a omo ye poll no omo to ma MPP 77% so ombesan to ma MPP a sign say omo di omo boshe so 77%, that's a high number.
And which poll was that, the CDD one or which one?
This came out of some people out of political science legal.
Okay.
Omo bisa questions. A DN pan in here one or say government likely to implement its policies. 35.8% say government will the tuaba and now campaign messages 23.8%. Management of COVID almost 8.2% and a corruption 4%. And it goes on to say
on Asempa FM
61.7% GD say MPP are buying manifesto promises are why yes say no ombetimi aye sign the omoye dada no only 26.8% and I can say NDC one campaign promises no ombedi so ebio omisa say why now page 24 why now GD say economic Ghana economy no or managing ye 65.1% of Ghanaians on page 25 and page 26 61.5% of Ghanaians believe that the MPP is managing this economy better. So no ukoswa obisa say in 2016 and 2020 so what shall
FM
wine ena obedi ni share so again the number is 55.5% MPP and teachers say Ghana for e wa reshemu we ni das will be say MPP na odi January
Ekusi on
Asempa FM enti na mami nkura nhye bi say Ghana for kasa ni ye tie dia ene enya aka say Ghana for gidie ene say MPP ene ye de hye yensa ebesi
sir and then also na mamu ahotoso say in this election no the Ghanaian people would remain faithful to the NPP
because you see enye chacha ne yeto me be na mete say NDC form so almost slogan here the too sure.
Yes.
Na say too sure the banker to banker. More banker to banker ni yemfa too sure nko to shamonza. Na mo de to chacha na edoji ani yende. Yes, number 1. Too sure yemfa to chacha. Ye dumadwuma yaye. And na Ghana for jitum through all this service. Say MPP for more bojuma. A safata because you see ordinate ni wire ni na dachi ni dankwa manyina ko show binsa efie nan on fa nye too show enko ye banka to banka o pobia o wogidie mapase asemasi na medi January
Ekusi
asemasi na medi January me dachi ebesi me yi eno ene ye nkranhye.
Wow. On Monday region being our interest womupa
regions ni nyina because every vote counts.
Yeah.
Every vote counts. Media omo to chacha na isa ne me hwe ha na I say ye ko O level na ya syllabus no ko sua ni nyina o so de wakotipo na otipu ye obi na odi echi one no odi anim and history okotipu Fulani jihad with Diadi Baba and the question became Sokoto jihad. Hey, and to answer question, but when who say Sokoto jihad no Fulani jihad the same thing.
The same thing.
Oba Bonti and Sana yeah man so true say so who say once anko dem once media tipo we work hard in every region because every single vote in this election counts.
And I believe because for purely sentimental and emotional reasons, no, you would have an eye on Ayawaso West Wogon.
Hona my brother Odi MP.
Yes.
Obon homodin hopa. For sentimental reasons, that's important. For equal sentimental reasons, I will say Ashanti and Eastern region.
Ashanti and Eastern.
Because me free me na no me call parliament or more no person mu di many by force me choose back. Nanka me can simbi achira hanko mbepa me freedom. Here we are uniting a nation. And you are insisting that the BG say me choose one region and be free. I'll tell you babies, I'll say which one this one. No, but for whatever it is, no, for sentimental, me papa, ufri jamanse ni aguna.
Okay.
Me nana Kyremateng Agyarko unanko udi aguna hine. Me mame ifri krobodumase. Enti me free 2 regions no prekope. Me nyayanka me free more regions. But enshisha ni me manasa. Until for purely sentimental reasons, these 2 constituencies, these 2 regions are important to me. And I have also been responsible for the Krobo block, which is Asuojamai, Lower Manya, Upper Manya, and Yilo. And so for purely direct responsibility reasons, no, I'm also interested in yes.
And my Juma will be to me.
Juma. Juma pa. You see, last time you win Upper Manya for the first time.
Asempa FE.
Lower Manya. Ekajie. Yet your deficit also from about 15,000 to 327. Yenya manon kosa kwa. The deficit was less than 7,000. From the registration exercise near dear you bit me aji. A soldier might ya winnie da ya lucida. Intermediate menisa and 9 call it greed, but greedy I am.
Honorable Boakye Kyremateng Agyarko.
Yes, sir.
My body.
What timpa?
Yeah, but that's say with me. But I think it's been really good talking with you this evening. At least insight on some of the questions I did, especially on the energy sector, no, has been really good. So we can only wish you well going into this election. Or anything finally to leave us with, I mean, to you. Say
you asked about emotions.
Yes.
The mesre Ayawaso West Wogon for addition. Say Kobre Champo. A citra or new one betnaye. Nuada or Chirema Dodo. I mean, he's a fantastic guy.
FM.
Minya de nanso obi beka se onua pa de na nya yempe oni nipa ye kama nkasa ena obia hawo ye ne hawo oboa constituency no ge mu adwuma mepese abaye kotwe for his sake, for the work he's done and for the work Lydia herself has done. Muntali diachi na muntu manu bi yesusa no na uko kanto kwa asene wa
ekosi sen on asempa
itmebuwa no wayemre akodado no wayemre ohun nsisi so nti uko pe mantwe bi na te hodin usuwa no afemuada because uko fie besambo so no sa na mepese ya bu NDC fowo Ayawaso West Wogon. And in fact, the whole national election. No one could te baby nsu. Ma na aswate. No mu femunda. Omo ni so betete wo no. Ni aye inauguration awie. Na fe se mo mesene. Chale afi de nyina osigmu ni nyina yanko. For the sake of Kwabre Champon. A Juma obeye wo ho. Any Lydia nanka say Juma or ye wo ho no. Mesre aiwa so west wo gonfo. Montanechi. Na monto emano en she Kwabra party any Lydia nankasa en munyam midamos.
Yenso ye da se panya min shraw. Enti the Honorable Boakye Kyremateng Agyarko and Moten and Kaneko see saying so higher sempa